So warm up, similar to the last few weeks. You've got dead bugs, bird dogs, some hip openers, and then you're going to do some mountain climbers at the end. So you're going to do 10 dead bugs, 5 of the bird dogs, 10 of the hip openers, and then 20 of the mountain climbers. We'll go for that twice, and then I'll explain the workout for today. So for the dead bugs, you want to be flat on your backs. Legs at 90 degrees, arms up in the air, keep one arm still, and you want to stretch out the opposite arm, opposite leg, as low down as you can without your lower back coming up off the floor. So you can do 10 of these dead bugs. Just try and keep your arm and your leg that's not stretching out, try and keep it as still as you can. And then once you've done your 10, you've got your 5 bird dogs. So you can come up onto your all fours, so basically turn around. Knees right underneath your hips, hands right underneath your shoulders. Again, opposite arm, opposite leg. Big stretch out. As you tuck in, try and tap your elbow on your knee, and then big stretch out again. So you can do 5 on each side. Then once you've done 5 on one side, just switch over and do 5 on the other side. Just try and keep your hips as stable as you can. And then once you've done your 5 bird dogs, your 10 hip openers, you want to be in your press up position. Right foot next to right hand, lift the right arm up, put your hand back down, put your leg back, and then switch your legs over. And then just follow where your hand's going with your eyes. And then once you've done your 10 hip openers, stay in your press up position. You're going to do 20 mountain climbers. So if you just count your reps on one side of the body for your 20, or 40 in total. But then once you've done your 20 mountain climbers, back into the dead bugs again. So 10 dead bugs, 5 of the bird dogs. Again, the dead bugs are opposite arm, opposite leg. And then just keep your other arm and leg absolutely still. And then once you've done your dead bugs, roll it over for the 5 bird dogs. So again, opposite arm, opposite leg, big stretch out, and then try and tap your elbow on your knee as you tuck in. 5 on each side. And again, once you've done your 5, on each side, you've got your hip openers. So again, your press up position, right foot next to right hand, lift the right arm up, and just try and keep that back leg nice and straight. And then once you've done your 10, you've got your 20 mountain climbers to finish. Oh, I'm done already. Okay, so your workout, you're going to do, oh, the sun's so bright coming in through that window. You've got 5 exercises. You're going to do an AMRAP for 20 minutes. So basically, as many rounds, as many reps as you can in the 20 minutes. There's 5 exercises. One of them you can kind of chop and change a little bit. I don't really mind kind of what exercise you do on that one. The first one, you're going to do 20 two-handed swings. So we just go through everything. So for the swings, feet roughly shoulder width apart. Try and keep your knees still. You want to hinge at the hips, grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, back between the legs, and then just extend your legs as fast as you possibly can. Just make sure you've got nice straight legs at the top, and then just relax your arms and your shoulders off. So you've got 20 swings to start off with. Your next exercise, I don't really mind. You've kind of got a choice on this one. You're going to do 16 of either overhead presses, so strict with the presses, or you can turn it into a push press, stroke, thruster, and use your legs to help out a little bit. If you want to chop and change each time through, you can do it. I don't really mind. For either one, whichever one you're going to do, you want to hold on to the kettlebell by the ball, let your thumb and fingers around the handle, and then just make sure that when you straighten the arms up overhead, bring your head through your arms. So you can either do a strict press, you don't need to do it kneeling down, you can do it stood up, or your thruster or your push press, it's a little dip, and then lock the arms up. If you want to turn it into a thruster, nice and low on the squat, and then press it up. So you can either just do a strict overhead press, or if you want to turn it into a push press stroke thruster, you can do. So you've got 20 swings, 16 of the presses, the overhead stuff. Then you're going to do 12 figure eights. This is probably like the complicated one. So for the figure eights, you want to hold onto the kettlebell by the corner of the handle. So if you hold on to one, if you're holding right hand, hold on to the right corner of the handle. You can squat down, pass it round the back of the left leg, swap hands, and as you stand up, you're doing kind of like a bicep curl to catch the kettlebell in front of your chest. I'll do the first one slow, then I'll speed up so you know what you're doing. So you want to squat down, pass it round the back of the left leg. As you stand up, it's a little bit of a bicep curl as you squat up. Grab it with your right hand. You're going to squat down again, it'll pass around the back of the right leg, and then you swap hands, and then you back up to the start. So it's round the back of the opposite leg. The quicker you stand up, the less you've got to do kind of with your arms. Every time you catch it in front of your chest, count that as a rep. So that'll be 1 rep, that'll be 2 reps, that'll be 3 reps. Okay, so whichever hand you're holding on with, it goes through the front of your legs, round the back of the opposite leg, then swap over, and then stand it back up. You'll know if you get it wrong, because it'll get really confusing and you'll probably drop the kettlebell. As long as you hold on to the corner of the handle, it makes it easy to kind of change hands. So you've got 20 swings, 16 of your overhead exercise, whichever one you want to do, 12 figure eights. You then do 8 anti-rotational pull through. So basically, you'll be in your press up position. Just make sure you're past where the kettlebell is. Your shoulders are going to come past the kettlebell. And then from there, if you want to make it a little bit easier, just go a little bit wide with your feet. Whichever side the kettlebell is on, you want to grab it with your opposite hand, pull it across the other side. Place the hand back down, grab it with the opposite hand, pull it back across. So 1 rep is just pulling it across. So that'd be 1, hand goes back down, that'd be 2. Just try and keep your hips as still as you can. So trying to rock your hips from side to side. It's easier the wider you go with your feet. So if you want to make it a little bit easier, just go wider with the feet. After you've done your 8 pull throughs, you then do 4. You can do them on your knees if you want to. You're just going to do 4 push-ups. Okay, dead straightforward. If you want to drop down to your knees, start up on your toes in your press up position. Drop your knees down, lower down, then straight back up. If you can, just try and make sure you keep your elbow over the top of your wrist. So try not to flare your elbows out to the side. So that's 5 exercises. So you've got 20 two-handed swings, 16 of whichever overhead exercise you want to do, 12 figure eights, 8 of the pull-throughs, and then 4 push-ups. So after the push-ups, you just go straight back into the swings. So it's 20 minutes. Basically, just get through as many kind of rounds, as many reps as you can in the 20 minutes. So after the push-ups, just go straight back into the swings. Obviously, if you need to take a little bit of a break, take a little bit of a break. Very straightforward. I've got a feeling it's going to get really hot. Okay, so we'll start in 10 seconds. Check this is going off. I'll keep giving you kind of a rundown of where you're up to. Okay, going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So 20 two-handed swings to start off with. So you should be able to relax on the swings a little bit. And then once you've done your 20 swings, you've got 16 of either overhead presses, or if you want to turn it into a little bit of a thruster, you can do, or a push press. I need to get a house that's got a higher ceiling, I think. So it's 16 presses. And then once you've done your 16, you've got 12 of the figure eights. So for the figure eights, hold on to the corner of the handle, a little bit of a squat down. You'll hinge a little bit at the waist, but just make sure that when you're standing up, just stand up nice and quick and lock those legs up. And then once you've done your 12 figure eights, you've got 8 of the pull throughs. So as you press up position, kettlebell on one side of the body, go a little bit wider with your feet to make it a little bit easier. Pull the kettlebell across with your opposite hand. And then once you've done your 8, you've got 4 push-ups. I think we'll get through quite a few of these. So once you're ready, you just go back, back into your swings. So it's 20 swings, get nice and snappy with the legs and dragging your hips through. I think we just did 21. And then 16 of whatever press you want to do. So overhead press, nice and strict. Use your legs to help out a little bit. Just make sure you lock those arms up overhead, whichever one you're doing. And then once you've done your 16, you're back onto the 12 figure eights. So again, just make sure you hold on to the corner, through the middle of the legs, around the back of the opposite leg. So it's 12 figure eights. And then once you've done your 12 figure eights, back into the 8 pull throughs. So again, just try and keep your hips nice and flat. Try not to stick your bums in the air. And then once you've done your 8 pull throughs, 4 push-ups. So that's another round down. So we've done all of 5 minutes. Only 15 minutes left. So again, when you're ready, you just go back into your 20 swings. And then once you've done your 20, you're back into your overhead press or your thruster or your push press, whichever one you're deciding to do. Then you can mix it up if you want to. But again, just make sure you lock the arms up overhead. Put your ears right next to your biceps. If you find yourself leaning back and you stood up, just put one foot behind the other. Obviously that won't work if you're doing thrusters. And then after you're 16, you're on to 12 of the figure eights. And just watch your knees on these. So you've got 12 of the figure eights. And then 8 of the pull throughs. And then on the pull throughs, when you place your hand back down, just try and make sure you place it right back underneath your shoulder. So try not to bring it across the body into the middle. So you're going to really struggle pulling the kettlebell across. Next, your 4 push-ups. Hardly seems worth it doing 4 push-ups. So that's another round down. And then again, when you're ready, we've got 12 minutes left. So 20 swings, 16 of the overhead, 12 figure eights, 8 of the pull throughs, 4 push-ups. And you should be able to relax a little bit on the swings. And 16 presses. And then once you've done the 16 presses, you got back to the figure eights. Oh, my wrist keeps clicking on them. So again, whichever hand you're holding on, through the middle of the legs, around the back of the opposite leg. And then it's pull throughs. So 8 pull throughs, 4 push-ups. Oh, it's so hot with this curtain shut. So again, take a rest whenever you need to. If you've got some water, take some water. Got just over 9 minutes left. So again, 20 swings, 16 presses, 12 of the figure eights, 8 of the pull throughs, 4 of the push up. Just keep repeating it. So again, just nice and snappy, driving those hips through, nice and snappy, straightening the legs up. And then try not to squat or lean back too much, just stand up nice and tall. So again, on the presses or thrusters, push press, whatever you're doing, just make sure you let those arms up. If you're doing a kind of a strict press or a little push press and find yourself leaning back, you can just pop one foot behind the other. Just try and keep your torso nice and straight, nice and tall. I think I'm having issues counting, so. So again, 20 swings, 16 press, 12 of the figure eights, 8 of the pull throughs, 4 push-ups. You got 7 minutes left. So again, when you get to these pull throughs, pull the kettlebell across opposite arm to whichever side it's on, and just make sure you plant that hand down right underneath your shoulder. I can probably get through maybe another, I'm thinking 3, maybe 2 or 3 rounds. So again, you should be able to relax on the swings. Nice and relax with the arms, don't worry about them being, they don't need to be perfectly straight. You can bend them a little bit. So again, just go at your own pace, and then just keep working your way through. So again, 20 presses, 20 presses, 20 swings, 16 at the press, 12 figure eights, 8 of the pull throughs, 4 push-ups. So again, when you get to these pull throughs, try not to hack your hips up, try and keep everything nice and flat. Just under 4 minutes left. Three minutes left. So again, make sure you're just going at your own pace. 20 swings, 16 of the overheads, presses, thrusters, push press, whatever you're doing. 12 figure eights, 8 pull throughs, 4 push-ups. Just come up to the last 2 minutes. Okay, we've got 90 seconds. So again, even if you get through these push-ups, just carry on with the swings. Just get as many reps in as you can. One minute left. 40 seconds. Twenty seconds. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this. Oh. I'll give you a minute just to catch your breath back. Then we'll just have a little stretch out. Oh. Okay, just plank yourselves on your bums. You should be used to all these stretches by now. Grab your heels, try not to grab your toes. So grab your heels, keep your chest on your thighs. And if you've got kind of a slippy mat, just slide your feet away, or basically just walk your feet away as far as you can. Then just keep that chest as low down as possible. And then with your toes, if you think about flexing your feet and then try and pull your toes back towards your head. So you should feel it all at the calves, into your hamstrings. And then if you leave your left leg out in front, if you've got any issues with your knees, you've got sore knees after all of that, just bring your sole of your foot on the inside of your leg. If you can, bring it around the back. Just try not to sit on your foot. Bend your left leg at the knee. Shift your rib cage over your thigh. And then again, same thing. Just try and straighten that leg up as much as you can, but keeping the chest down. And think about pulling your toes back towards your head. Just don't grab them. And you should feel it on your hamstrings and your calves down. And then bring your right leg out to the side. So if you go into a straddle position or pancake, clasp hands together, start over one leg, and then just bounce up across the other leg. And then just keep going backwards and forwards. Try and reach a little bit further on each one if you can. If you're particularly tight in one area, like if you're tight on the inside of your legs, you can just hang out in the middle. If you bring your feet back together, so you're going to do the right leg. So if you bring either your left foot on the inside of your leg, or bring it around the back into the hurdle stretch. And then again, bend the leg at the knee, shift your rib cage over your thigh, and then just try and straighten that foot up as much as straighten the leg up as much as you can. Again, just keep that chest down as low as possible. And if you slowly come out of that, leave your right leg in front. If you come into your lunge position, I've got a cramp in my left foot. Try and make sure you've got a box with your calf and your left thigh, or right calf, left thigh. Grab your left foot, pull your heel in. You should feel it stretching on your quad. If you can't feel anything, try and stay nice and upright. Try and keep a straight line from your knee through your hip into your shoulders. And then just let everything just kind of drift forward. So you can let your knee come over your toes. Just try not to lean over that quad, over your right leg. And then slowly come out of that, switch your legs over. Yeah, if you struggle picking your foot up, you can use like if you wrap a towel around your foot or a strap. Again, pull the heel in nice and tight. If you can feel it on your quad, stay where you are. If you can't, just let everything drift forward. And then slowly come out of that one. And if you just bring your knees underneath your hips, big bum stuck up in the air, big stretch out the arms, sink your chest and your chin down. So you should feel it kind of stretching your shoulders out. Might get it on your chest a little bit. Should get it in between your shoulder blades. And then if you just bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, so you're kind of onto all fours again. And then just drop your hips down. And if you look up at the ceiling, you should feel it on your abs a little bit. If you have a little look over each shoulder, if your back's a little bit tight, you might crack your back. And then the last one, you just bring your toes together, lift your hips up, pop your knees out to the side, sit back onto your heels. You can relax your head down, relax your arms out in front. And then if you want to get a little bit more of a stretch down your lats, if your lats are feeling quite tight, if you keep your hips still, straighten your arms up, and then just walk your hands over to one side. So if you walk over to the right side with your arms, you should get a big stretch down the kind of left side of your body. And then walk your hands over to the right side, or left side, whichever one you're doing. And then back into the middle. And that's it, all done. Survived another one.